What is social justice? It's the way in which human rights are displayed in the everyday lives of people at every level of society. We must teach for social justice so that our students can explore who they are. Before this class, I was a fish in water, and I was so unaware of the social issues around me. I want to teach for social justice so that my students are not fish in water. I want to make sure that they are aware of what's going on around them and why it's happening. I view through the lens of a white middle-class woman. I know that not all people share the same cultural lens as I do. Many teachers teach based on what they know and what they have experienced. As a teacher, I will acknowledge that everyone sees through their own cultural lens. Because I will notice this, I will teach the Windows and Mirrors curriculum so that my students are able to see through windows and into mirrors, giving them the opportunity for their perspective to be taught and to learn someone else's perspective. And I will not only be teaching my perspective. As a teacher, it's important to show our children that there is an injustice in this world and how they can help. When we show the injustice, they may be able to see the matrix of dominance. The oral reading said that the matrix of dominance is a framework for understanding how categories of difference are transformed into systems of inequality and maintained as systems of oppression. White wealthy men are at the top of the matrix of dominance. Anything other than white is non-dominant, anything other than male is non-dominant, and anything other than wealthy is non-dominant. Many things go into the matrix of dominance, not just gender, social class, and race. Those are just a few of the categories. While we want to ignore the matrix of dominance and wish that it didn't exist, we cannot. We need to notice the injustice and help address it. While many people believe that children do not see the injustice, they are usually the first to say when something is not fair. The matrix of dominance is in the schools, whether we notice it or not. A few examples are in the Ashley and Jillian story from Saks. Jillian had more money and had more opportunities in life compared to Ashley. It was harder for Ashley to get things around for college, and that affected her. This is an example of how social class plays in the classroom. Jillian, having more opportunities and being in the dominant social class, had it easier in school. In the Sadka and Sadka reading, if a young girl called out in the classroom without being called on, she was corrected for it, and on the other hand, boys were not. It was not looked down upon and be seen as inappropriate for boys to call out. Also, boys were given more time to respond to questions in the classroom. If the girl could not answer the question within seconds, the teacher would move on to the next student. This is an example of how genders in the classroom, boys being the more dominant group, were favored. Teaching for social justice means to teach culturally responsive, meaning teaching to a child's advantages, based on their interests, what they know, and what sparks them. If we do not connect the students to what they are supposed to learn, they will not be interested in learning. We need to find connections so the students can be engaged and connected to learning. In the last and billing reading, social linguistics have suggested that if teachers incorporate students' home language into the classroom, then the students are more likely to experience academic success. That is just one way of teaching culturally responsive. If teachers incorporate the students' culture into the classroom, they will do better. They will be able to relate more, and they will connect to what they are learning. Why teach for social justice? So that our students know that they can make a difference. They need to know that they have the power to make that change. Remind them that they do have a voice. We are here to amplify their voice so it is heard. We must let them know that they have the freedom to be themselves, to choose their own path, rather than society choosing their path for them. That is why I will teach for social justice.